The World History Archive has many images of individuals. Could you tell us a little bit about the collected faces of history that the World History Archive has?
Yes, indeed. I like to see this in a slightly different perspective. The people who have shaped history really fall into three categories: the infamous, the famous, and the often overlooked anonymous. So, of course, we have a kind of rogues gallery of the infamous. We have people whose contribution to history has been largely destructive and negative, but nevertheless they need to be recorded. And that would include fascist dictators in the 20th century, whether that is Hitler or Mussolini or Franco in Spain. They are reflected within the archive, both their rise and sometimes their demise as well. We also include people who have greatly added to the fund of human history, who have innovated, led and developed the course of human history, whether that's inventors, explorers, artists, composers, or politicians. They are within our archive. And this is both in terms of ancient and in terms of modern. So that would stretch from Hatshepsut, the queen who was actually recognized as king of Egypt in the 18th dynasty, right through to Boris Johnson during the COVID pandemic. So we have people whose faces are both known and recognizable, and those who are perhaps lesser known. But the anonymous is a term that I would use for people who have witnessed history, but we have been able to capture their image in some way. And that could be prisoners of war in an ancient Roman frieze that depicts captives from Gaul, and their agonized faces as they're carried off into Rome. Or it could include children who are victims of war, who have survived the bombing of Hiroshima or have survived air raids in London or in Seoul in Korea. And they often have, or almost always have, no recognizable name. We don't know who they are, but they are resonant and they echo down the ages and speak to us. Today you have seen a few images from our collection. There are hundreds of thousands more to share with you. Join us to empower students and teachers on their odyssey through history. Thank you.